A duck took the stand in court in France recently as evidence in a trial involving two men who were accused of poaching several ducks on private land. One of the suspects, Pascal Millet, allegedly poached 30 to 40 ducks from a man's private pond. The poacher apparently sold these ducks to a restaurant owner named Jean-Paul Adam, who then served them up to unsuspecting customers. And so, in order to prove that it was indeed the ducks that were poached, a single duck was brought into the courtroom as evidence. But this wasn't just any duck. This was a very special duck. Now, before we go any further, let me ask you a question. How do you tell if a duck is male or female? Well, in most cases, you can't. Male ducks are called drakes, and females are called hens. But unless you have special equipment, you're not going to be able to tell. This is why the French court had to bring in a special expert on ducks, an expert who could actually tell the difference between a male duck and a female duck. And while you might think this is ridiculous, trust me when I say you will be glad that there are people out there who are experts on ducks when you hear how this duck ended up in the courtroom. So back to our story. The trial began like any other trial would. The prosecutor explained the charges against the two men and presented their evidence. The first defendant, Pascal, was the alleged poacher. He lived in a small village near the pond where the ducks were taken from. The second defendant, Jean-Paul, was the restaurant owner who allegedly bought the poached ducks from Pascal. According to the prosecutor, Pascal had poached ducks from this same pond several times over the last few years. Each time he would take between 30 and 40 ducks, which was obviously devastating for the owner of the pond. The prosecutor then went on to explain that Pascal had been caught red-handed by the owner of the pond. While he was poaching the ducks, Pascal had tried to escape, but the owner of the pond had chased him down and forced him to return all of the ducks. However, Pascal had managed to escape with some of the eggs that the ducks had laid. The prosecutor said that Pascal must have thought he was pretty clever stealing the eggs as well, but unfortunately for him, the owner of the pond had a surveillance camera set up, and the footage clearly showed Pascal stealing the eggs as well. At this point, the prosecutor turned his attention to Jean-Paul, the restaurant owner. He explained that Jean-Paul had bought the ducks from Pascal knowing full well that they were poached. He also said that Jean-Paul had made a lot of money by selling the meat of the poached ducks as foie gras. In total, Jean-Paul had made about 28,000 euros from selling the meat of the poached ducks. The prosecutor asked the court to find both men guilty of poaching and to order them to pay a fine of 50,000 euros. He also wanted the court to ban both men from hunting or fishing in the future. The defense lawyers argued that there was no way that the ducks in the courtroom were the same ducks that had been poached from the pond. They also argued that the two men should not be punished so harshly because they had not done anything violent. The judge listened to both sides and then retired to make a decision. Meanwhile, the duck sat calmly in the courtroom. Nobody seemed to know where they got the duck from or how it was supposed to prove anything. But the duck just sat there quietly waiting for its moment in the spotlight. When the judge returned, he announced that he agreed with the prosecution. He found both men guilty of poaching, and each man was ordered to pay a fine of 50,000 euros. The judge also banned both men from hunting or fishing in the future. As the men were led away, they protested their innocence. They claimed that they had not done anything wrong, and that they were only being punished because they were easy targets. The duck, meanwhile, was finally given some much-needed attention. People crowded around it trying to get a closer look at the bird that had been instrumental in convicting the men of poaching. The duck seemed unfazed by all the commotion and just stared back at everyone with a blank expression on its face. But here's the thing. The duck wasn't actually a witness. It was a decoy. The whole thing was a publicity stunt by the French Society for the Protection of Birds. They put the duck in the courtroom to raise awareness of the issue of poaching. The French Society for the Protection of Birds. It's a non-governmental organization that was founded in 1949. Its mission is to protect birds and their habitats in France and around the world. The organization has been successful in protecting many species of birds from extinction, including the white stork and the Egyptian vulture. They do this through a variety of programs, including education and awareness-raising campaigns, as well as lobbying and legal advocacy. In recent years, the organization has focused its efforts on stopping poaching. Poaching is a serious problem in France. Every year, thousands of birds are poached illegally, either for their meat or for use in traditional medicines. The French Society for the Protection of Birds has been working to stop poaching through a variety of means, including working with local communities to develop sustainable livelihoods that do not rely on poaching, as well as training sniffer dogs to detect poached meat products. The organization has also used more traditional methods of raising awareness, such as public education campaigns and lobbying the government to pass tougher laws against poaching. One of the most innovative and attention-grabbing tactics the organization has used is staging mock trials, like the one that took place recently in the small town of Brive-la-Gaillarde. In this particular case, the French Society for the Protection of Birds decided to put on a mock trial to raise awareness of the issue of poaching. The organization staged a trial in which a duck was brought in as evidence. The duck was supposedly a witness to the crime, having seen the poaching take place with its own eyes. Of course, this was all just a publicity stunt, but it was an effective one. The trial attracted a lot of media attention and helped to raise awareness of the issue of poaching. The French Society for the Protection of Birds has staged several other mock trials like this one over the years. In 2015, the organization staged a trial in which a fox was brought in as evidence. The fox was supposedly a victim of poaching, having been shot by a poacher. Again, this was all just a publicity stunt, but it was an effective one. The trial helped to raise awareness of the issue of poaching and led to several arrests of poachers in the area. In addition to staging mock trials, the French Society for the Protection of Birds also lobbies the government to pass tougher laws against poaching. The organization has been successful in this area as well. In recent years, the French government has increased the penalties for poaching and has also stepped up its efforts to catch poachers. The French Society for the Protection of Birds is an example of an organization that is taking a creative approach to solving a serious problem. Poaching is a difficult issue to tackle, but the French Society for the Protection of Birds has found some innovative ways to raise awareness and make an impact. Their mock trials may seem like a strange tactic, but they are effective, and their work has helped to protect many species of birds from extinction. If you want to learn more about the French Society for the Protection of Birds or get involved in their work, you can visit their website or follow them on social media. If you live in France, you can also sign up to become a member. And that is the incredible story of the duck that took the stand in court in France. What do you think of this case? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching.